This episode of MMA Nuts is brought to you by Freshly, chef-cooked healthy meals delivered to your door. Save $20 off the 6-meal plan for first-time users with code MMA639.
Web hosting pads save 20% off with code MMAHost20OFF. Lenovo saves 7% off any Lenovo PC with code MMAExtra7, good from 10/16 to 10/20. Savannah Spirit save 20% off with code MMASpirit.
Defense Soap, the ultimate soap for wrestlers, jiu-jitsu, and MMA athletes with the new peppermint oil bars and shower gel. Use code MMA Nuts for 15% off. Hey fans, this is MMA Nuts, episode 356.
356!
My name is Ingo Weigel.
Back with the MMA show by MMA fans, for MMA fans. We're walking the line between serious and ridiculous. What's going on, Larry Flynn?
Oh, good point. We might as well
start this because
so, I
family friendly.
Hold on. So you might want to cover your eyes if you're sensitive to these topics, or if your wife, girlfriend, whatever's watching that's against anti-beautiful women. Pause it now.
All women are for women.
Send her off in the other room.
For women, by women.
And now that you're back, I was going through some old boxes, and I stumbled upon, well, a huge Playboy collection. I used to be a subscriber, but never mind all that. Right. I did find the 2012 edition of the UFC's Brittany Palmer in my possession.
This is pre all this fucking clown plastic surgery.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like she had some, though.
A little bit.
I like WEC Brittany Palmer.
Yeah.
It's unaltered. She was the best.
She was. But you know what I found even better? Yeah. The 2008 November edition of Rachel Lee. UFC.
Some might even call her Rochelle.
I call her Rachel. Rochelle Lee, whatever. I'm trying to decide what to do with these because, you know, to me, they were in a box, and I'm trying to get rid of my Playboys as it is.
Box in a box.
So should I sell them? Should I auction them off? Should I give them away? I don't know.
I don't know if they're worth anything. You know what? It never hurts to hold on to some stuff.
Yeah.
Let it age like a fine wine and then sell it in 20, 30 years. Some of the stuff's like what you call a retirement account,
so
if you will.
What would you say? A or B?
B.
B or A?
Right.
B or A. If you're out there, you should vote. Do you like the Brittany Palmer or the Rachel or Rochelle Lee?
I prefer Rochelle.
I like Rachel. But it is Rochelle the way it's spelled. I just fucking
Rochelle.
Sounds pretentious. Rochelle with my pipe in my mouth. So, but anyways.
Right. Yeah. Let's get this party started.
I thought I just did.
Kind of.
Jeez.
Is that UFC related?
Yeah, it says UFC all over both things.
Enough. Fair enough. What do you got this week? What are we going to talk about?
The news is a
little. I heard we have a lot of news this week.
We have very little news, but that's okay. We have something that's interesting, and I think we all knew this was going to be the case. The UFC and their pay-per-view woes continue the last year. From UFC 2008 to UFC 2016.
No. UFC 208 to UFC 208. You said three.
I don't know why I keep doing that.
I keep confusing the fuck out of me.
UFC 208 to UFC 216.
Yeah.
There was one event which was good, which was the Cormier versus Jones 2 at 860,000 buys. Every other event, 300,000 or less. As a matter of fact, the Nunes versus Shevchenko 2 was 100,000 pay-per-view buys, followed by Ferguson versus Lee at 120,000. So combined, they couldn't do 250,000 pay-per-views in 2 UFCs. That's ridiculous. How are they making money?
I don't think they are. I swear, when I totaled it out at one point, I thought the break-even point was 200,000 pay-per-view buys.
Yeah.
Because they have I want to say Dana White said that they have $1 million per show already all in. Like, as far as like production costs, bringing the fucking octagon out and wherever, especially if you're flying somewhere too.
Yep.
You got to cart the whole octagon and all the people and all the shit. Well, I'm just wondering, like, the new owners, what's the strategy here? Are we going to recognize, hey, we can't put on shitty events anymore, and let's scale it back, like the number of pay-per-views, but let's make all the pay-per-views stacked, like it used to be in the old days, and maybe you do one every 2 months, and maybe you only do 6 a year, or you do 7 a year. It's got to come way down. You can't have fucking, you know, and here's another example. So this next card that's coming up, you have Donald Cerrone versus, I don't even know what the fucking guy's name is. Darren Till is headlining the next card. Who the fuck is Darren Till?
Don't know. You got is that him?
No.
Oh.
But I'm just saying, like,
I was like,
you
wow.
know, that's the exact point of this. Like, so we're doing one every week. Granted, that's not a pay-per-view, but like we're watering this down to a point where no one's watching. Like, look at the last two pay-per-view buy rates.
Yeah.
You can't survive on that, and that's where I'm wondering: are the new owners just banking on this new TV deal? Like, oh, who cares about the pay-per-view? Let's just bank on, like, if we can get 400 million from this company and 200 million a year from this one and another 100 from this one. Are they gonna get all that? But again, it goes back to the point, like, you can't just put all this shit on those properties. You're still gonna have to allocate them a certain amount of good cards per year, and maybe only certain fighters. I wonder if it gets into a bidding war then, and say you have 3 channels and one of the channels says, hey, I want to have all Mighty Mouse's fights because he's the fucking man, he's the GOAT. Okay, you can have all his fights and then some. Another person might want all of, I don't know, Stipe Miocic's fights. But I wonder if it's going to be a fighter by fighter on certain channel basis.
Miocic versus Dos Santos did only 300,000 buys.
I'm not saying Miocic is the draw, but he's the heavyweight champion.
I like him as a blue collar kind of a champ, but he's not drawing pay-per-views. Well, they don't have the star power.
We have a problem. There's nobody with the charisma of a Conor McGregor, polarizing effect of a Ronda Rousey or a John Jones.
Nope.
And then Chris Cyborg is your next biggest star. And after her, I can't even fucking name who's the next person.
They keep giving her a hard time, too, which is not helpful. But who's the next person after that?
I mean, Diaz is right, but they're not fighting.
No.
And then you're just into this quagmire of mediocrity.
Yeah. Well, the numbers don't lie, so obviously the fans agree, you know. I don't know that maybe they're not trying to make money. Maybe they're just trying to saturate the market as much as possible. It's like a buying the market kind of a thing where it's just going to be in your face. And
there's so much content. I mean, what are they doing? That Snoop Dogg thing with the Tuesday night fights, and you know, you have the Tough Show, and it's like every week there's a fight.
Yeah, you know, at some point, you know, you have to weigh what's better. Is it quantity or is it quality? I think in this case, the hype around the big pay-per-view, maybe that's every 6, 8, 10 weeks, I think it's better than having every week or two some nonsense on that nobody cares about. But the problem is they got a huge roster of fighters.
Well, maybe they need to pare it down, get rid of a couple divisions. Like, they've been talking about getting rid of 125 for the men.
How many guys are in that division? There's only like 4 dudes in that division anyway.
Like, that's so non-competitive as it is. But, I mean, like, back to the point of maybe it's every 6 to 8 weeks. I mean, when I had a job in the corporate world, that was such great water cooler talk of, like, who's going to win this fight. You had a 2-month build-up or whatever back in the day to talk about this shit. Now it's just like, no, it's not that interesting anymore.
No.
We need better spokespeople. What about GSP?
Well, him
is he like the Great White Hope?
Like a couple of playground children just.
Oh, him and Bisping?
GSP's like, you are drunk. He's like, fuck yeah, I am. Blah, blah, blah.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Right? It's all like, this is the whole thing. You know, George is probably like, what is happening here? This is like. And I do believe maybe Bisping's got a drinking problem. He's always drunk. Maybe he needs to be drunk in order to be...
Well, maybe that's what he needs for his eye. If his eye's all fucked up, maybe it's the booze that helps him see better.
Good point. As long as he's not drunk on fight night, that's against... You can't do that, can you?
What?
Can you be drunk when you're fighting?
No, I think they test for that.
Okay, damn it. Anyways, I'm not super... I don't know. It's like weird because GSP's coming back and I'm just like, It's like... I'm there, but I'm not there.
Well, he was never the most exciting of fighter.
No.
He was just dominant to a point until the end of his career, right?
And even back then, the cards were better. They'd had stacked co-main and, you know, co-main events.
Yeah.
So the top 3 fights were always solid. Now, you're lucky you get a main event that's even any good. So.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, too, like, I think part of the whole problem is USADA, though. Like, I haven't invested into the statistics of like the finishing rates, but I feel like the quality of the fights has dropped, and it's probably just my perception because I want USADA to go away. But as the new owners, why don't they look into that? Like, I mean, you got a lot of issues with the pay-per-view buys, quality of the cards, this huge roster. Like, if you're a new owner, what are you focusing on? Like, how do you improve this? Obviously there's a problem. How do you fix the problem? Where do you start as a new owner right now?
Reinstate John Jones.
Yeah. Well, it sounded like they kind of were. Like Nowitzki, yeah. I think he came out to try to clear up his comments. Like, hey, everyone's taking what I said out of context. I never said he was going to get no suspension. I just was saying that could be a possibility.
Right.
Like, oh, whatever, dude. You know you need a star. And that guy is generating some heat. What was that? You just said 800,000
yeah,
or something?
That was the one that this year, that was the top one.
Right.
And by a long shot. I mean, they did more as one pay-per-view than the 5 pay-per-views surrounding that pay-per-view.
Right.
Which is really sad. We used to have, dude, I think that in the Brock Lesnar era, the Vitor Belfort TRT era,
right.
In that era, they were doing like almost $1 million pay-per-views every time. You know, and we were looking for like 1.2, 1.3, 1.4.
Well, Conor McGregor, you had Ronda Rousey, you had the people that are pushing the needle. Right now, you got nothing. Because you don't have these, like, I know Bisping just went on Conan, but he's not, like, pushing the needle of, I'm going to fucking break all the records. If anything happens with him and GSP as far as a pay-per-view buy rate, it's because GSP is back in the game. It's not because Michael Bisping's in the game.
It'll be huge. I think the Canadian audience will kick in on that one. I'm predicting that to go over 1 million easily. Dude, it's Canada. They got, you know, man. It's in the winter. You know, they're up there, they're drinking beer and watching hockey, and now they got their hometown boy is in, I think 1 million pay-per-views easy.
I think maybe that's the over-under. I think we were under 1 million.
For GSP,
yeah.
Bisping?
I'm going to say 900. I think it's close, but I don't know.
We'll do okay.
And I don't know if there's any laggering or there's still some effects from people not buying because of the Mayweather McGregor. Laggering.
What the fuck is laggering?
I'm like, laggering, staggering. You're lagging and staggering. You're laggering.
You might have invented a new word. I like that. I'm going to use that.
Okay, from the Mayweather McGregor fight, right? Because if everyone just shelled out 100 million, I don't feel it is that. But I'm just saying that could be a potential reason that the next few cards are like 100,000, 125. Like, you don't want to pay your $60 to see subpar entertainment.
Yeah. I think you had brought this up on the show before, that they should base the pay-per-view cost on the star power.
I think so.
Wasn't that you who said that? From $29.95 to $59, depending on what's going on.
I mean, if it's a Conor McGregor, if Conor, like I said, if Conor is going to fight Nate Diaz, I'll watch it 100 times. I'd probably pay $100 just to see that fucking fight. Yeah. Because you know you're going to get a fight. Those guys want to fight.
Yes, they do. They're gamers. It's a conundrum. Eventually, they're going to run out of money.
Well, you just shelled out $4 billion, but I thought they just they even paid out more because they bought the rest of the Fertittas out recently, and I don't even know what that second swath of money that was paid out to them was. But I think at that point they estimated the worth of the company at $5 billion. This almost sounds like some kind of Ponzi scheme to sell it to somebody else. Like, we're just keep inflating what the company is worth to dump it off onto the next sucker.
Could be. I don't know. It's weird. The value seems way inflated based on what we're looking at right there. So,
I mean, this is a trend that if you don't have the biggest stars fighting and no one's buying your pay-per-views, the only other way you make money is through the television rights. So maybe that's what they're banking on. But again, it goes back to the point of watering down everything else, because those people aren't going to accept subpar cards like the Foxes, apparently. Fight Pass, right? All right. What else you got?
Speaking of Fight Pass, there was a fight on Fight Pass this weekend between Rico Verhoeven and Bigfoot Silva. A little glory action. We love glory. But we had some questions regarding the matchup in this scenario, given Bigfoot's recent string of knockouts. Well, not knocking people out, but getting knocked out. So,
enjoying the ride, as you will.
What were your thoughts on this fight? I just watched the highlight prior to starting, and how do you feel?
I don't feel good about this at
No.
all because I got a couple problems. Because the UFC put this on Fight Pass for free.
Mm-hmm.
So they're, in essence, endorsing this matchmaking.
Yes.
We got to talk about Mark Hunt.
Okay.
Because the UFC just pulled Mark Hunt from his fight and replaced Mark Hunt with Fabricio Verdum. And they said, well, Mark Hunt did this interview, and he was claiming he had all these issues with CTE, so we're pulling him from the fight to protect himself from himself. Mark Hunt said he had passed all the medicals. So I also find it curious that the UFC waits a month, lets Mark Hunt spend a lot of money on his training camp, pulls him out, knowing damn well there's a lawsuit. Like, Mark Hunt is suing the UFC, so I kind of feel like they're blackballing him a little bit.
Of course.
So we got that going on. And then, on the other hand, the UFC promoting the Bigfoot versus Rico fight. It's like, so where are they looking out for fighter safety? You're okay to pull Mark Hunt off because you're claiming he's CTE, but then you're going to televise that other one for free? So which is it? Where's the fighter safety there?
They don't care about that. I think the only reason that Hunt got pulled off that card is because he publicly made statements, whereas Bigfoot is obviously fucked up, but he's remaining quiet, so they don't have to really do much.
Well, then why did the UFC wait a month? Why didn't they do that like the next day? Like, he's saying he's got CTE, which I kind of feel like he's saying that just to help his lawsuit, but I feel like the UFC pulling him from the fight is just helping his lawsuit. Like, because it's not what a guy says in an interview. That doesn't fucking matter. It's what does a doctor have to say?
Right.
You know, if he passed all the medicals, you've just opened this lawsuit even wider for Mark Hunt to win a shit ton of money either way.
Yeah.
Because he's arguing, you let all these steroid guys fight me, and now I'm fucked up. And now they're proving that he's fucked up by pulling him out. They're just saying, oh, he does have CTE.
Good point.
So
I wonder
they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot.
maybe they think it's better to show concern versus, I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like they're wrong because at the end of the day, a doctor needs to make the diagnosis, not an interview. Guy can say whatever he wants in an interview.
Right.
Interview can be taken out of context.
It could be.
And then Mark Hunt obviously went off on Dana White. And I don't even remember what he said here. Dana White, you piece of shit motherfucker. Why you fuckers pull me from the fight? You getting another lawsuit, you fuckwit. You could kiss my ass, you bald-headed prick. You put that chicken shit bitch in. Get fucked, cocksucker.
You wrote that?
That was on his Instagram. Mark Hunt. The man, he's a gentleman. He may be a scholar and a gentleman.
Is that really him who wrote that? Because he's not a man of many words. That seems odd.
Well, when it comes to getting fucked over, he speaks his mind.
Did Dana reply?
Yeah. I forgot what he said, but it's like, oh, he's my friend. You know, it'll all work out.
I'm sorry, you're so sad.
We're just looking out for the fighter.
I love you.
We're just looking out for the fighter.
My friend. Don't be angry.
I don't know. It's just
Don't
weird.
kill me, large man.
So speaking of inconsistencies in the UFC, Daniel Cormier was one of the commentators at UFC 216, and he was saying UFC told him specifically not to talk about the staph infection that Kevin Lee had.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, what do you make of this?
Doesn't surprise me. I'm sure this happens all the time.
But shouldn't the commentators be telling you everything that's going on with a fighter?
No.
Regardless of...
I think it's been proven time and time again, even Ariel Helwani got in trouble, right? For something similar. They've told him to say things, not say things. They want to control everything.
Yeah, they want to control the narrative, but I feel as a commentator, you gotta give an unbiased opinion, and you gotta state the facts. And if that's a fact of the fight, why are they not allowed to talk about it?
Because it's the UFC.
Well, because he's not, it makes me feel like they're doing something dirty then. He's got a staph infection and he's fighting, and you don't want the commentators to talk about it? Well, then maybe the guy shouldn't be fighting in the first place.
Maybe. There's been a lot of scenarios where that's happened. Brock Lesnar.
Well, I'm okay with him fighting.
Yeah, I know you are. But I'm just saying, you know, they do what's best for the organization.
Of course.
Always. And they say, fuck the fighter. And obviously, if Cormier wasn't on the payroll, they probably couldn't do that to him, but he is, and he's the champ, and he's now been given his belt back, so I'm assuming there was a favor called in. Hey, big guy.
Speaking of, we just gave you the belt back.
We own you.
Wink, wink.
Yes.
Maybe you shouldn't talk about this.
Uh-huh. Keep in mind who lines those pockets.
Sure. You got any other news?
I do. I have one thing, because it's related to the Bigfoot thing. I was going to ask you what's worse. I showed you earlier. If you guys want to see this, there's a video out there of Brazilian strawweight Daniel Lima. He cut 16 pounds in 2 days and missed the cutoff by 2 pounds. There's a video showing his corner, basically just short of carrying him out to the scale.
Yeah.
He steps on the scale long enough to be weighed and then cannot physically move himself back to where he was sitting. They had to pretty much carry him. It's really scary to me to watch this. And he went on and fought the next day, and he lost. My question to you is what's worse? Is that worse, or is it worse for guys like Bigfoot that get thrown out there again to the wolves like Rico Verhoeven?
Yeah, that's a good question. I almost feel like they're the same.
Yeah.
Like you can't, if a guy can't walk out to the scale on his own, he's not fighting.
Right.
I don't give a fuck who he is. If it's Conor McGregor, if he couldn't make that walk himself, he's not fighting.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen what happens. Like, these guys are dying from the weight cutting.
It's happened. Yes, it has. It's almost 20% of his weight he cut. Like, in 2 days.
2 days. That's healthy, totally.
No, not at all. And you know, they've done studies which shows that the brain cannot physically rehydrate. It takes weeks to get that water back. And you're taking damage to the brain, getting hit in the head, obviously. Think about that. So, I don't know, man. I know California has been working on it, but something needs to be done here, because someone is going to die again.
Only if we're lucky.
Only for, yeah.
Well, I would say the only thing good that comes from it is that they'll change everything. At least ONE FC, like, they had someone die in the weight cutting, and then they ended up changing the entire weight cutting fucking thing. So I don't want it to come to that, but
it's going to take a superstar,
man,
to get killed in the cage, and for them to figure out it was because of the weight cut.
Right. And again, what is the UFC waiting for? Like, why aren't they addressing it? They just keep letting the fighters do whatever they want.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's on the fighter. The fighter thinks that they have the advantage, you know, cutting all this weight, being a bigger person. But you've seen time and time again, these guys are moving up in weight and having pretty good success.
Donald Cerrone.
Like, I think literally they should just force everybody up a weight class. I mean, with exception to a few guys that aren't really cutting that much weight, but they got to do something sooner rather than later. Why push it? I don't know.
Push it real good.
That's right. Where's salt and pepper when you need them?
Is that salt and pepper?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. I don't know.
Hey, did you see Mackenzie Dern got the submission win this weekend? Throwing some bombs.
I did not. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. It's like, I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll take that neck. It's all mine. I'm going home with this shit. Wow. She went in for the kill right there. I like that.
You got that. She went old school with that rear naked choke, pushing down on the back of the head. I like that.
I like fighters who have the mental fortitude to go in on a barrage like that and then go for the choke instead of keep just trying to like wail on somebody. They just go for for the kill. I enjoy that. That's cool.
Did you see your weigh-in pick, by the way?
I did not. Was it good?
That is so in my wheelhouse.
Is it? Damn, that's a very
thick. And look at the chick she's fighting. Drug-free. Totally drug-free.
She has that typical like skinny leg, huge upper body.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
Dern is like all hips and thighs.
Yep.
Oh, interesting.
That may be my new Chris Cyborg Gingo.
Hips and thighs, thighs and hips. You like that?
Yep.
Okay.
Just saying. Just saying.
Good for you.
There's a Megabot fight happening on October 17th on Twitch, I guess. They got these two robots, and it's kind of like...
October 17th?
Yeah, it's like 2 days from now.
I was going to say, it seems like that would be like tomorrow.
It's kind of like Titanfall. These guys are going to get into a fucking robot. You got USA versus Japan, and they're going to fucking duke it out inside the robots.
Really?
huge.
You're gonna have to send me the link if you find it. If
the
it's
USA
available.
one had a ton of people working on it. They had like NASA people, MythBuster guy.
Oh, nice.
The creators of
Savage.
Battle. No, it was I forgot what his name was.
The other dude with the beard?
No, one of like the 3 sidekicks.
Oh, dude, that show, that redhead chick on that show,
super hot.
nice.
And then she got pregnant and ruined it.
Damn, I didn't know that.
But like the BattleBot creators,
Matt impregnated her through the television. He's like,
I wanted to, but this is a 12-ton, fully combat capable, 430 horsepower beast. And you could. There's some videos
Wait,
on the website.
the guys are going to be inside those?
So the USA one, he'll have 2 guys in there operating it, and then they have the Japanese bot going at it.
How do they not get injured?
I don't know if safety is of concern, but I kind of feel like they need to fight to the death. Just fuck it. Just fight to the death. Okay. If we're gonna do it, go all the way with this shit.
Wow.
Because I thought they had that stupid movie with like the robots fighting.
There was nobody in it though.
But if you can get
Hugh Jackman, that was like a remote control thing. I didn't see that movie, but yeah.
I feel like you gotta fight to the death. No?
Maybe. I don't know. That sounds crazy to me. Sure. To the death.
Because I don't know what the rules are. Are we using paintballs? Are we gonna fucking physically pound the shit out of each other? And then what's the finishing move, right?
Hadouken!
What?
Like from Street Fighter?
I don't know. I feel like one robot should be doing nasty things to the other one.
This big old dildo comes out and starts fucking the other robot in the ass.
Slapping it in the face like, I just beat you. Now I slap at you.
I'll taste my PB.
That's right. Let's do some ass nuts. Does a finish always mean that the fight was exciting?
No.
No, I'm trying to think of a couple fights. I think there was a couple Crow Cup fights. Crow Cop, Brendan Schaub, Crow Cop, Frank Mir.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
It's like a lot of boring until a knockout.
Yeah.
Which fighter would sell the most pay-per-view buys if you made them champion? You can pick anybody.
Which fighter?
Yeah. Again, this goes back to the lack of charisma and personality.
I think Diaz, one of the Diaz brothers.
Yeah, I think Diaz is.
For sure.
Justin Gaethje. I think he's going to be a superstar.
You think so?
Yep.
Okay.
I even might throw Al Quinta in there.
Ooh, he's so salty.
I know, but if
fuck you! Everybody just go crazy and start flipping everybody
but
up.
there's some flavor.
Knocks Dana White out. He's like, fuck you, I got the belt.
Right. It wouldn't be the first time.
Asshole.
You need
notorious for trashing his hotel room.
Right. And then you got, you just trashed your hotel room? No bonuses for like 3 or 4 fights. Fuck that. Go sell real estate, you fuck. I'm fine. I'm selling fucking real estate. I don't need to fight.
He's a little angry guy.
Want to eat pizzas? I don't know.
Yeah.
Prime Royce versus Damian Maia at 170 pounds. Who wins?
Damian.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Damian. I think Damian will destroy him.
Oh, yeah.
Royce didn't have very good striking. Damian can box. So I don't. And on the ground, I think it'd be a very equally matched thing.
And especially, Prime?
Prime Royce?
Fuck. I still like Maia there.
Because you got to look at it this way too. No disrespect to Royce, it's an evolution of the sport. He's going to be at this level, and Damian has picked up from where that ended and is taking it to taking a whole nother step. I don't think it's the same. It's not going to work. I think Damian destroys him. I don't even know. Even on the ground, I don't think it's a contest. I just don't. Royce was in an era where dudes did not know anything about jiu-jitsu, right. And he was dominant, sure, but I mean.
It's fun.
Look at what Matt Hughes did to him.
Well, that was way, way past his prime. But
oh, I know. But
if it was a prime,
it was supposed to be like the gentle.
But if it was a prime Royce Gracie versus a prime Matt Hughes,
Royce would be.
I'd take Royce.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Damian's on a whole nother level.
Yeah. All right. Brandon Mason asks, "What are your early predictions for Lawler versus Rafael dos Anjos? And do you think Dana will keep his word when he said the winner gets a title shot against Woodley?"
I don't think he'll keep his word, and
never does.
No, you're right. I haven't really looked at that fight closely yet. All I can tell you is I think it will be very exciting. It's going to be explosive. I'm predicting a late first-round finish by one or the other guy.
Super non-committal. I like Lawler in that. I know Dos Anjos has moved back up to 170. He's got a couple wins, and Lawler had that win over Cerrone, his last fight.
You did?
I like Lawler.
Okay.
Rico Machado, close it out. It's time. Pound sign Nuts Roll, pound sign Matt Rape Train, pound sign Ingo Sugar Daddy. Would you rather restart your life at the age of 10 with all the knowledge you have now, or jump to 45 years old with $50 million in the bank? I will jump to 45 years old because that's like a year and a handful of days away. I'll have $50 million.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. It's only six years for me. I'm not losing that much.
Yeah, I don't know if me going back 10 with all the knowledge I have is going to do me any good. It's just going to get me into way too much fucking trouble. Way too much trouble. I'd be dead by like 18.
You think?
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
With what you know now, I'm going back to 10? I'd be too smart for my own good, and someone would kill me.
Maybe.
I'd be like a ninja.
You would?
Fucking people up. I'd know jiu-jitsu, and they would be like, what the fuck? What is this kid doing? I'm just choking bitches out left and right.
On the playground?
Oh.
Getting into a fight on the playground?
I'd be so dominant.
Taking somebody down and then playing my game? Like,
oh yeah.
You come back, I choke you again.
Yeah. You see this bottle of Tabasco? It's going to places that haven't been probed before.
Up your ass.
Aliens, right? Would you rather be the first person to explore a planet or be the inventor of a drug that cures a deadly disease?
B. Deadly disease.
I agree.
Chicks dig dudes who cure diseases.
That's right. Celiac. Cure it, you fucks.
It will happen.
Would you rather have a horrible job but be able to retire comfortably in 10 years, or have your dream job but have to work until the day you die?
Dream job. It's not a job if it's your dream job. It's just you're living your life.
I'll take the 10 years. I already did that. So I would, like, 10 years in a job I hated. Well, I didn't hate, but I did it. So I would be retired comfortably already.
Okay.
Fuck, marry, kill, the Rachel's edition, not the Rochelle's edition this time. We have Rachel McAdams slowly appearing.
Okay. Oh, yeah. The Notebook.
She's in a couple movies.
Yeah, she's got a nice little booty.
Rachel Bilson.
Who's that?
I don't know.
Not my stuff.
Then we have Rachel Wes. I don't know.
Oh, okay, yeah. We're going to have to marry her. I'm digging that.
Okay.
I'm a big fan.
Up your speed.
Yeah, the middle one's going to get killed. I killed her. Rachel Bilson? Yeah, we're going to, we're so going to, there's going to be dirtiness. There's going to be dirty.
First one.
I might need like a lot of things.
Okay, I'm going to go a little opposite. I'm killing that Bilson, Marianne McAdams, and then fucking Weeze,
nice.
Whatever her name is. Get at my phone for knowledge. Do you have any knowledge?
I do not have knowledge this week. I'm stupid.
That's all good. Now, we just turned into a pumpkin.
Did we lose internet? Oh.
No, we're still there.
I got it still. I'm good.
Okay. So, my daughter is in high school, and she's taking an AP Human Geography class. And these pictures are sideways on my fucking phone, but let's see if I can get it on the computer. So, she shows me this. She's like, look at this. This is in her book. There's a picture of John Jones head-kicking Alexander Gustafsson.
Wow.
And apparently they're talking about the UFC. And they're like, actually, there's a question in our homework. It says, what is a recent example of a new trend gaining momentum? U-F- and it's Ultimate Fighting. Didn't know Ultimate Fighting was a new trend gaining momentum like maybe 5 years ago. But pretty interesting to see a fucking, there's like a half page dedicated to the UFC in some school literature.
Wow.
I didn't know it was like acknowledged academia.
That's quite impressive, actually.
Yeah. And I don't know, she knew who John Jones was.
Of course.
Look at John Jones.
How could she not?
Like, yeah, there's Alexander Gustafsson. And then I had to explain how he almost lost that fight because he didn't train.
You
Coked
lost
up and
that fight, Matt.
banging whores.
You told her all this?
No.
Like, what? Okay.
I thought about it, but I
Don't
had to-
do
I had
drugs,
to
okay? Because you
censor
will
myself.
win UFC belts and
Yeah,
beat people when you
that's
shouldn't.
right.
Don't do drugs.
Right.
Drugs are bad, okay?
They're totally not good for you. PD is totally not good.
gosh.
They totally don't make you extra money in
He's
every
quite the
single
athlete, his
sport.
daughter, too.
Doing well.
Racing champion.
Quite the runner.
Yes.
That's all I got with a quick 35-minute
You
show.
called it. Hey, it's all good. Sometimes we're in and out.
That's right.
Just hit it hard. Long
what
and
it's about.
strong. Short and fast. I don't know. But
Something like that.
that's been this week's edition of MMANUTS. My name is Ingo Weigelt.
Matt Groot, thanks for playing.